All right, and we are back after the break. Thank you for staying with us. As promised, we are on to the next conversation where we're talking about starting over. So many of us, I know most of you watching, you get to a point in life where you're like, things are not working out. You know, either you've lost a job, that business is just not going through the way you expected. You took a loan, you don't know what to do. Life is just a lot at that point in time, and if you have not gotten to that stage, maybe you will get there. So how do you handle it? How do you start over? And that's our topic, starting over. And for this particular topic, we are joined by an expert, someone who more than being an expert, he has an experience of starting over. I have the author. He carries many titles, but I know him as an author. He's Charles Manda Kadima, and I've just received my book. Well, that's it. It's called Now I See, and he's authored this book, and he'll tell us more about it. Karibu sana, Charles.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Glad to have you with us.
It's a pleasure. It's an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, asante sana.
I'm not sure even where to start with this, but let me start with you. You carry so many hats. You know, apart from being an author, tell us what else that you do.
First of all, thank you so much for this. My name is Charles Kadima. I'm a teacher professionally. Also an author of 7 books. Basically, I write stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that is. I'm also starting a business, a publishing company.
Wow.
Called Uncle's Pen Publishing Company. Apart from that, I also tell my stories through my social media and stuffs like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're also a publisher.
Yes.
Okay.
I am a
so
publisher.
Uncle's Pen Publishing
Company. Yes.
And here you want to tell people's story.
Yes. Here we want to give people an opportunity to tell their stories. Yes.
Okay. So I can come to you and give you my story.
For sure.
What particular thing about stories are you looking at? Are there specific stories that you want people to tell, or?
We want to rewrite the publishing industry. We want to give people an opportunity to tell their own stories. People are going through a lot. Like we were talking even before this interview.
Yeah.
People are into depression. People want to vent. So we want to give people a platform to just vent and speak to somebody. Yeah.
Okay, I love that, because some people just need to let it out.
Yes.
You have so much inside you, and when there's another author who's written it's a popular book. It's called Nairobi Men something. I'm forgetting the title, but it's stories of Nairobi men. It's also on Nairobi women.
Yes.
But the men and the anonymous, you know, giving their stories, and you wonder, these are the kind of things that Nairobi men have gone through, and you have a different outlook on, you know, on men. You know, you respect them more, you understand their struggles.
Yeah.
You know, some people would never know,
Yeah.
and I believe that even getting that space, they are able to relieve themselves, knowing that they wrote about it, they told that story.
For sure. Yes.
Okay, so what does starting over mean to you? The phrase starting over.
Maybe I will start by saying some years back, 2019, faced something that I may never be. I cannot wish my worst of enemies. You are in a place where you are very comfortable. You are doing so well, good family. Everything seems to be working well. And then all of a sudden, like they say, nobody has the power to beat gravity. It sends you back to the ground where you belong, and you're clueless. You don't know how to move on. You don't know how to accept the situation. So starting over to me means redefining yourself, understanding that it is a place where you must find yourself again and redo your life again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. How was that for you? How hard was that for you?
To be honest, it is not easy. Let us not lie to ourselves that starting over is easy. It was hard, but it starts by accepting the situations.
Okay.
You define the situation. What is it that has pinned you down? Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So knowing what the problem
Yeah, the problem
is, it starts
is.
from knowing where the problem
Yes,
is.
yes.
And I'm seeing here, in this book,
Yeah.
you have written on returning. Okay, so it says, what happens when everything you've built crumbles around you? In Now I See, Charles Kadima tells the gripping story of how he lost all his job, his family, and his sense of self.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that is a lot. You know,
Yeah.
it's one thing to lose a job.
Yes.
It's a lot of pressure to lose a job, but lose a job and then lose your family,
Yes.
and then it gets worse when you lose your sense of self. Like, what is my purpose? Who am I? Like, why am I here? You know.
Yeah, that is the darkest place you can be as a person, when you lose yourself, when you cannot define yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, I think mine wasn't even that 2019 January. It was 2021 May, when I now lost my son again. You see, you cannot.
How?
Such things change a man. Such thing can change a woman.
Wow.
Yes.
That is that must have been a very tough time for you, trying to make sense of everything.
Yeah.
How did you? I'm just trying to understand. Like, I'm just seeing how hard that was and how dark that was.
Yeah.
How was the journey like for you to regain it? Like, how was the next day like for you? How was a month like for you? You know, what were the solutions? How did you start over?
I had gone into a series of serious depression for a period of like 3.5 years. I remember locking myself in. I never wanted anybody around me, family members. I blocked them, sorry for that. And it reached a point when you look at yourself on the mirror and you cannot actually tell who you are. You look at yourself and you remind yourself that there are people who look up to you. You need to be strong for your family.
Yeah.
You need to be strong for your parents, your siblings and stuff like that, those who look up to you. So I think at that moment is when it hit me that if I sleep here, I may go down, and I will not go down alone. I will go down with my family members, those people who depend on me. So at that is the point when I said I must stand and start accepting the situations. Those that I cannot change, I let them go. And those that I can, try my best to redefine them.
Redefine them.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, did you have, when you decided to let people in because you had locked them out, who was there for you? Like, who was your support system?
I must say, at first, before I let people in, I started a channel, a YouTube channel and a TikTok channel to just share my stories. From sharing and opening up, I met many friends, people who are going through the same situations I was going through. So they were coming in and telling me, Charles, you're not alone.
Wow.
We are here with you.
And this is on social media, like new people.
New people. And I'm telling you, for sure, opening up and sharing my stories is the reason why I'm here, is the reason why Uncle's Pen Publishing Company is here.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to take you back to your story again. I know you have shared briefly on it, but what was the incident like for someone who might be going through the same thing and could be in a position where they need your story? It's something that they will relate to and they will find healing in their story.
Yeah. I was doing so well, to be honest. Family person, very good marriage, good family, a child, good job, doing so well as a young man. And it reached a point, I think it was 2019 January, when I lost my job, and then followed up.
How did you lose your job?
I may never go into details
Okay.
because it is still a court case.
Okay.
Yes, it's a matter that you still, yeah, but I lost that job. It was a good job. And from that pressure, as a man, you know, when you cannot provide for your family, you cave in as a man. You lose yourself. I think from that pressure, I also lost my wife, my family, losing her through divorce.
Okay.
Yes, and it never took long before I went to zero. I found myself leaving the city, going back to the village to maybe start from there again. Yeah, so I was going back to the village empty. I was going back to the village with no child, with...
At this point, you had also
Yes,
lost
I
your
had
son
also lost my son.
to sickness.
Yes. He was sick, just one day. Yeah.
Oh no, that
Yeah,
must
yeah.
have been something. So you went totally to zero.
But
like
to zero, for
you
sure.
had nothing completely, nothing to your name. You had just you.
Yeah.
And at this point is where you got into depression.
Yeah.
You sank in. You did not let anyone in, and you decided at some point that this is getting out of hand. There are people who still need me. And you let yourself out. But how did you get, how did you get to even think that this is bad, I need to be out? Because some people do not get to that point. They're like, my life is not worth living anymore. I might as well just live and save people their pain and their anguish and the worry, So how did you get to this point where there are people, there's still something in me, like there's still some light?
I think it was Mama Mary, my mom, Mama Mary. I remember I had locked myself in the house for 2 days, no food, nothing. I removed my curtains and replaced the curtains with the blankets so that I could see.
You just wanted darkness.
I wanted darkness. She knocked, I wasn't responding. She knocked, I wasn't responding. So she took a stone, kavunja dirisha, hit the window, opened, kamwaga maji kwa kichwa yangu, and I have never in my entire life seen my mom like that. I saw somebody's daughter fighting for her son to wake up and take control of his life again. Let me also mention that I think I was the only provider for them at that moment in time. So going down meant they're also going down. Yes, so I think it was at that moment when I saw I need to just stand up and I just need to take control of my life again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes such radical moves.
Yes, a radical move.
That was really radical. Like, we are breaking this window, you
yeah,
are waking
she was
up.
the activation energy actually behind
Oh.
all these things. So I just started by taking that first shower, taking that step outside that room and seeing the light again, accepting to be in that situation and accepting what has already happened. And those you cannot change, you allow yourself to let them go.
Wow.
Yes.
So you just worry about things that are within your control.
Yes,
if
yes.
it's outside, it's not my business.
Yes.
So that's how your journey started. And I love it that it was as simple as just taking the shower.
Yes.
Just brushing your teeth.
Yes.
Because you are not doing any of that. You are really a dead person living because you were just there, But
Yeah,
now
for sure.
you took that step. It's
Yeah.
the simple things,
Yes.
And now you decided to start the YouTube channel and the TikTok account. You also started right when you're still in the village.
Yes, when I was still in the village.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Why did you decide to venture into these platforms to share your story? You could have shared it in any other form.
I think I remember taking a camera and shooting a very sad video. And I was afraid to even upload it. I said, why not? Let me just do this. Let me see what will happen. It blew up.
Wow. That was on, did it start on YouTube?
It was on TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes, it blew up. And I got the courage. And the feedback that I got, people who are also going through the same, like I have mentioned, you feel like you're not alone. There are many people who are going through the same, even worse from the experience you went through. Yeah. So it gave me that courage, the confidence to keep posting. in sharing my story.
And from there on, I love it. You get that it's not the situation is not isolated to you.
For sure.
You understand that people are also going through this and people overcame it. So it gives you more strength, right?
Yes. Yeah, that is the power of sharing. If you do not share, you will never know. You will think that you are alone in that situation. But you're not alone. There are many people who are going even through worse situation, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's men usually have a problem in sharing. You understand that the highest cases of suicide are among, it's with men, and the depression cases, men are still in this bracket because men find it hard to share. I don't know if it's how you have been raised in the African setup where you're not supposed to talk, you're supposed to be the strong one and all that. And people still have this perception that, no, I am a man, I can't, I need to figure this out. So how would you tell men to still talk yet maintain the position as the African man, because it's the conflict with the African man?
Yes, Stephanie, ego and stoicism is the enemy. We grew up being told, like you said, that as a man you cannot show your tears. You need to be this strong, you need to be this rock that is strong for your family, for your kids. They need to see you as a very strong person. So because of that, we cave in. That is why men will, instead of sharing, they will go to the bar for quick solutions. Some of us will go to women on the streets. Some of us will choose suicidal. You'll not tell your stories. You'll choose these easy ways of finding quick fixes, and that is the problem. You're not solving the issue when you go to alcoholism. You're not solving the issue when you go to the bar or to the streets. So finding that one person that you can trust, finding that one man. I think every man needs a mentor.
Wow.
Every man needs somebody they can feel free to tell anything. It is from that we can save maybe a man out there.
Wow, because we need to save the men in this generation.
Yes, we do need.
So every man, I'm taking that now with me, every man needs a mentor. You just need that one person that you can be open to, you can be vulnerable with.
Yes.
Because men are not, very vulnerable. Then how do you identify this one person? Because the other issue is you get someone, you will tell your story, and the person you'll hear your story with 10 others, and you wonder how did it get there. So it gets you to even a darker place, because now people will more people are judging you. So how do you really guard that space? How do you really know that this is the right person for me? And for you, it was very bold, because you went all out with your story. You were bold enough with your story.
Yeah, I think it starts by the fatherly men in our society taking up their responsibility and their roles and saying we must save our sons. We must be trusted again. It starts with the older men in our society showing that they can be trusted again. So when men will find that elderly person, that father figure that they can trust again, I believe we can talk.
Okay.
Men talk, but it is hard to find that person you can trust, like you said. So it starts by the elderly men in our society creating that trust in us. Yes.
Okay.
So inaanza na sisi.
It starts with
us.
the men themselves.
The men themselves, yes.
Yeah, and I've just seen echoes of Nairobi, like you were in the spirit before we got to the echoes of war.
Yeah.
Okay, that is interesting, because again, there's a counselor who told me when handling men, they're very, they really hold on to their stories until they feel that it's a safe space for them to pour out their issues, and when they start pouring, it's a whole book that it can be written, because they have taken so long and they have been bottling a lot of issues inside them.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. So what did you do next after now the YouTube channel and the TikTok after it blowing up? And I'm sure many people also just came to you with their own struggles and all. So you getting to where you are now, how did that play out after those platforms?
So once I started sharing my stories, I accepted the situation, and I decided to get out of that village. Getting out of that space where you're seeing your son's grave every day, things that reminds you of where you've been, things that reminds you of what you cannot change. So I got out of that village and I decided to go get a job.
Wow.
You start by
Step
getting
out.
a job. Yeah, you step out and get a job as a man. I think for us, being able to provide, not even to other people, but to provide for yourself, really means a lot.
A lot. Because it was built in you. The men are the providers.
You are the providers.
It is just a thing in men.
Yes, so I stepped out of that village that reminded me of the lesser me, what I've lost and everything, and decided to go back to Nairobi.
Wow.
And I started from there.
How easy was it to get a
It
job?
wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I had built a connection and trust with some schools that I had taught before. So it started from there, accepting that simple job. You are earning maybe 6 figures, but you must accept that you don't have that.
Luxury.
10 bob feels like a lot of money. So you accept that simple job. Hata kama ni kubeba maji, pole. You accept that simple job and you start from there.
Okay.
So I took a job, a teaching job at a private school, and
That's how you actually
Yeah.
started to build.
Yes,
over
to build
You
over.
started over
Yes,
literally,
literally.
from scratch. Now this is what we're
for
talking
sure,
about.
for sure, yeah.
So it meant you knowing that you are earning this much and saying, it's okay, I might not get that, but I'm willing to start with the menial jobs that are there. As
Yeah.
long as I get to put food on my table,
Yes.
just starting with me,
Yeah.
and taking away the pressure that the society gives.
Yes.
You know, how will people see you?
Yes.
You are this person, you drove this car now, where, you know, just choosing to take it all in and starting over again.
Yeah.
And how important is it to be at peace with yourself, with the decision that you're making, so that whatever other people bring in does not affect you?
You see, like they say, the enemy within is stronger and more dangerous, vicious than the enemy without. Being able to fight that enemy within, being able to be confident again, being able to accept yourself again, being able to face the world, to face that man in the mirror and telling him, Manze, you must wake up and go fight again. Being able to fight that enemy within, I think, is a game changer for anybody who is listening to us today.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a game changer.
Okay. The worst enemy is
is the enemy within.
the voice that
the voice.
you keep talking to yourself.
Yes,
So it's important how you talk to yourself, even in that particular period of time.
for sure. For sure. In fact, the voices that you hear around don't really matter.
It's your voice.
It's your voice that really matters.
Wow. So
Yes.
were you able to rise even as you started from scratch?
The beauty with everything is I started writing a long time ago. So as I was teaching, I was blessed to have one of the biggest publishing companies doing my book.
Ooh.
Yes, Blood and Hope. It's on Amazon. I did that book and I sold the rights to them.
Wow.
I think from then is when I found maybe something small to rebuild. And you see, when you are rebuilding, you're not starting from zero like people think. You're starting from a point of strength. You know actually the root. You know everything. You're starting from a point of strength. So I had the vision, I had the plan. I knew what I wanted to do again.
Okay.
What I didn't have was maybe that confidence. But I took it upon myself to say, I will rewrite it again. And I started from there.
Wow. So
Yeah.
when you're starting over, it's from a point of strength. It's
Yes, from
not
a point of
zero,
strength. It is not from
because it takes
zero.
a lot for you
Yes.
to start. What was that book that got you to, propelled you forward that you sold to give the rights to Amazon?
Yeah, it is Blood and Hope.
What was it about?
It was just a story. Yes, it was just a story.
Fictional,
of course,
right?
it's fictional. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it because even when everything is taken from you,
Yeah.
you still have the things the giftings that are inside.
And that is what we were saying. You are not starting from zero. There's something starting over means there's something in you that you are rewriting. You understand? Okay. Yes. There's something in you that you are rewriting. There's something in you that you have. Okay. It's just about understanding what is it. Discovering
what it is that you have.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
When people lose hope, and as you said, it's the worst place to be in when you don't understand self, when you don't understand purpose. So what is that point for you when you saw that my purpose, I have a purpose. It's bigger than the job that I had. It's bigger than what has happened to me, that there is still light at the end of the tunnel, you know. And it was, of course, you had your mom to help, help you wake up from what you are in. But how did that self-discovery look like? Because now when you're at your worst and you don't even know who you are anymore, then how do you start rediscovering yourself, knowing what is actually in you? Like for you, you knew I'm actually a good writer. I can actually do this, you know. Yeah. So how do you discover self? Because now when people are lost and they don't know themselves anymore, it's hard for them to get back up.
I think, like we said, is owning. First of all, owning maybe your past, owning the mistakes and accepting them, and then sharing. Don't ever keep things to yourself. You get somebody you can talk to. We emphasize that again. It is maybe through that support system. You know, there are voices that will speak to you, or you're speaking to somebody and they see something in you. It is from that support system that maybe I found myself again. Yes. Maybe the kids that I was teaching. Okay. You're there, you're talking, you're doing your thing, and from there somebody discovers there's something good in this person. Okay. You're good at this. Can we invite you for this? Can you do this? And when you start talking, things change. When you start talking, things change.
Things change.
Yes.
So you just need to start. So storytelling is a very important art.
Yes.
Tell your problems. Tell your story out.
Yes. They say it is hard to find people to trust. But one thing I know for sure, there's somebody out there. There's one person.
Everyone has somebody.
Yes.
Out there.
You have somebody out there who is willing to listen and who is willing to stand by you.
Amazing.
And for you, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So now, for people, there's a lot of pressure now with social media, you know, that people have made it. And with my co-host, we were looking at how one of the celebrities of Gopina came with a chopper. And so this might get to someone's head. So how would one embrace failure, that they have really failed? And failure is just, it's not the end.
It's not the end.
You learn from failure, right? And how would they embrace it and get a fresh start in such a space without feeling like they're falling behind? You know, everything is working, and it might be social media for some people. It might just be the friends that you went to the same school with. Everyone is doing well. Why is it that it's not working for me? I'm not getting a job. I'm doing all the applications. You know, you don't ever want to associate with them anymore because you can't tell the same stories that they're telling. You can't afford the meals that they're taking. You know, so how do you do it?
I think it is pressure. And we are 90% of our population is a victim of this social pressure. I was a victim of it. In fact, that is the reason why I went into depression. You were at a point where you are the provider, and you are now at a situation where you are the one being provided for. You want to impress people, and that is the biggest pit you can ever dig for yourself. The motivation to impress the society and everything is the reason why most of us are in debt, is the reason most of us are even hanging out there and you are in the bars and you cannot even imagine who you are again. So I think it starts with working for you, doing what is good for you. If I'm putting on this jacket, I'm not putting on this jacket to impress anybody. I'm putting it on because it feels comfortable for me. It
Yes.
makes me feel warm. You understand? Yeah, so doing it for you and not for what or who are looking is a game changer again.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So making sure that it is you blocking the
Yes,
world
yes,
out,
yes, yes, yeah.
and just saying that I need this for me, and
Yes.
focusing on you, removing that focus away from others and just putting the focus on you.
Yes.
And being graceful to yourself, because sometimes you're just hard on yourself for no good reason.
Yeah.
I know of cases where men, I don't know, I'm just moved to talk about men
Please
today.
do.
So
Please
men,
do. Yeah, save our men. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, we're here for the boy child. So they get, for women, it's easy to get a space where you just talk. Random people, women will just open up.
Yeah.
But for men, they would feel, for one to get to a place where they're done with their life, and all that is, they go to the people who they have the same struggle with. But it's good when you have the same struggle with and you all have the same ambition to get back up from it.
Yes.
But the men who seek help, they cry out for help, but to the wrong people.
Yes.
If some are struggling with alcoholism, and with alcoholism they get trouble at work, and then they get people who are in the same circle with them to talk of these same struggles, people who do not help them. What are the dangers of this, and how do they get away from it?
Like we said, in fact, identifying that one single, you cannot talk to everybody. Beauty of speaking a story, maybe using social media, sharing a story, is maybe somebody out there who has gone through what you're going through will listen to you and identify the issue and maybe find you. You understand? To have you speak to them. But the danger of not finding the right person leads you into a bigger pit. You understand? Yeah. So I think finding the correct ground, the correct crowd, the correct people that you can talk to, like I said, is a game changer. Go to church. People assume church. Go have a brother, have a father figure somewhere, and identify if these people are trusted enough. Trustworthy enough, yes.
Trustworthy enough.
Yes. Like I said, it starts with us as men to create that space where our younger version can trust us. Yes, yes.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's power in even prayer, just having someone to pray for you.
Yes.
And all that. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Now, have you gotten someone who has published with you their story, and and they had an impact in their life because of that?
Oh, wow. We are doing an amazing book. We have 4 stories we're doing. And you read that story and you say, God, the world is hurting out there. People are going through a lot.
Okay.
I wish people could just speak up. I wish people could just pick that pen and write. You pen whatever it is that is eating you up.
Wow.
And even leave that diary for someone to read.
Just write it.
Just write it.
Make sure it's out.
Yes.
It's
make
not
sure
with you.
It's not with you. Take it out. Find a way in which you can get that story out. So we've done books. We are doing a good story, and I'm sure very soon we will be here maybe talking about the same.
Think about it. Would love to hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you're open to tell us. I know maybe you may not able to give us the details because they're not out yet.
Yeah.
But the people who have written with you so far,
Yeah.
are they men mostly, or are they women?
Well, we have 3 men. One of them is a member of parliament currently,
Ooh.
yes. and we also have one woman.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are 4 stories.
Wow, that
Yes, yes.
should be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm
for
already
sure, for
looking
sure,
forward
for
to
sure,
it.
for sure, for sure. It
This
is.
and did they reach out to you?
No, yeah, in fact, we are doing this, we are writing the story and then publishing the stories.
Ah.
You understand, eh? So they reached out through this social media thing. Yeah, they saw our stories and they felt like they needed somebody to talk to, especially this lady. She needed somebody to talk to. She said she has a story. So we engaged and we started talking. She said, I'd like to write my book. And we started from there.
And the power of
The
storytelling.
power of storytelling, the power of removing it out. Yes.
You can see that it's actually transforming,
Yeah,
you know,
into something for sure.
something great.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
for
already
sure, for
see
sure.
it.
Yeah.
So how many books have you been able to write yourself?
Personally, I've done 7 books. 6 novels, 2 inspirational books.
Okay.
8 books.
8.
One
6
is
novels.
not yet published.
Aha.
Yes, yes, yes. We are still working on
But
something.
this is the latest.
This is the latest. This book wasn't supposed to be published. This was my story.
You were just
I
writing it
was
for
just writing it
yourself.
for myself.
Wow.
Yes.
So I get to you know,
Yes.
to get a sneak peek into what.
Yeah. I wasn't writing this book for anybody. I was doing it for me.
What made you publish it then?
You never know. That story that you're hiding in, that story that you're keeping inside, can be somebody's reason to wake up again. Yes, that is. Yeah.
Actually wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
how did you feel after people related to your story, after people got hope from your story, because you were just telling it out there to relieve yourself from it, but how did you feel when you got the impact from it?
I was catapulted. I was fueled. I said, I am not alone. We can make a difference. We can use this. We can actually change these lemons and make it a very sweet lemonade.
Wow.
Yes, and use it maybe to even make us be better again, and we also make the society better, a better place. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What do you think is before I allow you to close up by giving some word of advice for people who are struggling, but what are the other solutions? Do you feel like counseling would be a good option for someone who's not sure of has not identified the right mentor, that one person that you're talking about, has not trusted anyone maybe in church yet, is still on that journey, but would you advise them to go for counseling to a totally new person, a stranger?
Most Kenyans, most Africans, especially men, assume counseling. But I think that is the shortest route towards healing. If you cannot find somebody out there that you can trust, get a professional. Get a professional, a stranger that you'll pour your stories to. They will keep that story, but you have let that story out. So I believe in counseling. I believe in getting that person. If it is not somebody you know, let it be a stranger, and it can be a professional. Yes, yes.
So let it whatever you do, just make sure that your story is out there. You're not dying to self with that thing that is killing you. Just tell someone, I'm depressed. I'm feeling that I'm at the edge of it.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Yeah.
And for those that, we have talked about things going haywire. You have lost everything.
Yeah.
But there are people who have it. People who have the best jobs.
Yes.
We
Yes.
assume it.
Yeah.
Some people who drive the best cars, but they feel lost inside.
Yeah.
We've heard stories of billionaires who have taken their lives, and you wonder, why in the world would you take your life when you have everything that everyone is praying for? So someone who's in this position, and they would feel that I'd be judged if I go to seek for help, because someone would, you come to me, a random person, I would say, you are crazy to think that you're having problems. Look at me. I will just compare my problems with yours and tell you you're at a good place. But to get someone who understands you when you have it all, but you feel like you're losing it, what would you say to that?
I think, like we said, you are not alone. You are not alone. There are many people who are going through the same thing that you're going through, and you just need to stand up and talk to somebody. You just need to wake up and find ground again. Yes, and talk about that issue again.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So just find your
ground
person.
again.
Find
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
find that somebody. If
Yeah.
you don't have anybody, then seek for professional help.
Mm.
So let me allow you, as we close on this, this is your camera,
Yeah.
to speak directly to someone out there who feels like the world, their world is crumbling down, and that they are just choked by the problems that they have. I know you've said it again and again, but say it one more last time what they should do, and how they can get you, for those that want to reach out on your social platforms. How can they get you?
First of all, thank you so much, Stephanie, for this amazing platform. Friends, starting over is not a weakness. Starting over doesn't mean you're starting from zero. In fact, you're starting from a point of knowledge. You know you're starting from a point of strength. The easiest route to becoming yourself again is to accept whatever it is that is eating you up. And after accepting the issues that are eating you up, there are those that you cannot change, and there are those that you cannot change. Have that grace and ask God to give you the ability to accept the situations that you're in and get out of that place. Because you might be on the right person as an individual, walking on the right path. But if you might be on the right path as an individual, but if you stay there, you get overrun by passing vehicles. So walking out and doing life again really means a lot, and it's a game changer. My name is Charles Kadima kwa kila social media platform. We started Uncle's Pen Publishing Company at Ambank House, just near Utali House. And we are here to listen to you. If you want somebody that you can trust to vent, to tell your stories, kujeni karibuni sana kwa Uncle's Pen Publishing Company. Asanteni sana.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. This was incredible. You know, you know how they say some things you can't get in school, some things you have to go through to get the experience.
For sure.
And even in this conversation, having a professional would not really get the story out as getting someone who has actually lived through it. And it's amazing. Thank you very much. So we have been talking about starting over. I hope you have related to the story. I hope you have received some light. And we're sending our love to you. If you're going through a hard time, it gets better. Look at Charles, if you doubt it. So start over from where you are. Just make sure that you rise up. Take that small step that you need to take. It's going to get better as you go on. This has been Charles Manda Kadima. He's an author and the founder of Uncle's Pen Publishing Company. If you want to write your story, you can go there and they will help you write it. So we take a short break, and that Brand Circle will be coming up with yet another interesting topic. Stay with us.